Hello friends, my name is Arun Kishore Voleti and welcome to my channel Learn Deep. We are currently in Python playlist and in this video I am going to explain you how to deal with lists in Python. So what exactly a list in Python is? In Python, a list is a versatile data type which is going to store values in it. And we can access those values by using their index values. So without wasting any time, let's get started with list. So here, like I am taking a variable lst is equals to, in order to declare a list, we can write comma separated values in between these two square brackets. Like if I want to give these values 1, 2, 3 and 4, this is the way to create a list in Python. So if I print this list, then I am going to have 1, 2, 3 and 4. So now we know how to create a list. Now we have to know how to access these values present in the list. And these values can be accessed by using index. And there are two types of index in Python. The first one is positive indexing, which starts from 0 to n-1. And the second one is negative indexing. So let's try to access the elements present in the list. So if I want to access the element name 3, here 3 is in third position, which is in second index. So if I want to get 3 as output, then I have to print lst of 2, which is going to give me 3. So there is one more way to access the same 3 by using negative index. The negative index starts from the last element, taking the index as -1. The last byte element will have -2. Similarly, the first element will have index -4. So if I want to access 3 using negative indexing, then what I can say like lst of -2, which is going to give me the same element. So if I want to access the last element, then I can directly say lst of -1. So in this way, we can access elements present in the list. So let us try to perform some basic operations on this list. Like if I want to know what is the maximum element present in the list, then I can say simply max of list, which is going to return maximum element of the list. Maximum value is 4. And if I want to find minimum of the list, then I can simply say min of list, which is going to return the minimum value which is present in the list. Similarly, if I want to find out the sum of all the elements present in the list, then I am going to do like this sum of lst, which is going to return me 10, that is 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. And if I want to check whether some value is present in the list or not, then I can use if condition. No, if is not necessary, I can simply say 1 in list. It is going to return me true if 1 is present in the list. If I say 5 in list, it is going to return me false. Similarly, we can also try 5 not in list, which is going to return true if the element is not present in the list, and it's going to return false if the element is present in the list. And if I want to find the length of the list, simply I can say len of list. So the number of values present in the list are 4. So the length of the list is 4 here. Now I'll take one more list in which I am going to assign elements in some random order, like I'll take 5 in the middle, I'll take 6 in the parent. So this is my new list. Now I want to sort this list. Again, we have an inbuilt method called sorted, which is going to sort my list. So if I give sorted of list, then I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is there in ascending order. But wait, what if we want this sorted order in descending format? Then we can simply say sorted of list, comma, reverse is equals to true. By default, this reverse will be assigned with false. So if you invoke this reverse with true, then it is going to print the list in reverse order, which will be an descending order for us. So in this way, we can directly sort a list using this sorted method. Again, let us take some iterable, like I have a string is equals to Arun. Now I want to convert this string into a list. Then I can simply say list of my string. So what exactly this list of method is going to do? This list method is going to convert any iterable into a list. So what are the iterables we can convert is, we can convert a string into a list, we can convert a tuple into a list, we can convert set into a list, and we can convert a dictionary into a list. So what if we give some other values, like if I want to give a number to this list of method like 1, 2, 3, then this is going to throw an error which is a type error. It is going to say that int object is not an iterable. There are few types of iterables which this list method can convert into a list. So if you want to create an empty list, then instead of creating with square brackets, we can also say lst is equal to list of. This is also going to create an empty list. So these are all the basic operations. Now let us try to examine what are the list specific operations we have. So the term I am using list specific because these are inbuilt functions which are going to take list as a parameter. If you want to use any list specific functions, then we need to use dot operator to access that function, and we are going to say my list dot and that function which is to be invoked. So let us see it in detail. I will take a new IDLE. Yeah. Again, I'll take a list 1, 3, 4, 2, and 5. Now, let us try to apply some important list specific functions on this list. Now, I want to append value 6 into the list. Then what I can simply say is, I have append function present in the list, and I can say lst dot append of. So I can say list dot append of. So what value I want to append? If I want to append 6, then I can say list dot append of 6. If I print this list, I am going to get 1, 3, 4, 2, 5, and 6. Similarly, if I want to count occurrence of a number in this list, like I am going to append 6 one more time. So if I print this list, I am going to have 6 2 times. Now we want to count how many times this 6 has occurred. So I can say list dot count of some element present in this list. So this 4 is a typo error. I can show it again. So list dot count of 6. The return value is 2, which is going to say that this 6 is repeated 2 times in the list. So what if I give some value which is not there in the list? So it is going to return 0 directly. And now I have a list and I don't know what is the index of some element which is present in that list. Now we want to get the index value of that element. I can simply say lst dot index of, and this needs an element. If I say 4, as 4 is the third element here, I will get value as 2, which is my index. But wait, what if there are more number of elements, repeated elements are there in a list? So let us try by giving 6. Here 6 is present in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So in 5th and 6th positions I have 6. So what would be the output? Let's check out. So the output is 5, which is very much clear that the first occurrence index will be given as a return value from this index of method. So in this way we can directly find any elements index present in the list. So now I want to insert an element at a specified index. So let us say I want to insert 7 at index number 3. Then I can simply say list dot insert list dot insert of. Now I want to insert 7 at index 3. So I am going to say 3 and 7. So if I print this list, at index 3, I am going to have my value. And similarly, if I want to remove an element, I can simply say list dot pop off, which is going to remove the last element by default. So if I say list dot pop off, then the last element will be popped out, and if I print my list, then I am going to get a list with the removed last element. What if I want to remove an element from a specified index? Like if I want to remove this 7 which is added at index 3, then I can simply say list.pop of 3, which is going to remove an element which is in third index. So the popped element will be given as a return value, and if I try to print the list, then I am going to have my original list without 7 here. In this way we can remove an element from the index value. But then what if we want to remove an element by the element's name directly? Like if I want to remove element number 5, so I can simply say list dot remove of. So if I say list dot remove of 5, then it is going to remove this 5 from the list, and if I print the list, I am going to have these elements. But what if there is an element which is not there in the list, is given to this remove as a parameter? So if I say list dot remove of 9, as 9 is not there in the list, it is going to throw me value error. Similarly, we have found out index here, right? So if I say list dot index of some element which is not there in the list, again it is going to throw value error. So how to deal with this value error? And this can be dealt in two ways. The first way is check whether the element is present in the list or not. If the element is present in the list, then go and retrieve the element's index or go and remove that element, else print that element is not there in the list. So we can take list is equals to 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now I want to remove 5. I will take rem is equals to 5. Now I want to remove 5 from this list. So how I can do it? If rem in list, I am checking whether this 5 is in the list or not. If it is there in the list, then the if condition will become true, as rem in list going to return this in. I have already shown you it's going to return a boolean value. If an element is present in the list, it is going to return true, else it is going to return false. So if if removable in list, then I want to remove that element, list dot remove of rem. Else I am going to say print no element found. Clear? So if I run this, I am going to get no element found. That is because I am going to check whether that element is present in the list or not. If it is not present in the list, then instead of executing the statement, I am going to else and I am going to print element not found. What if I want to remove element number 2? Then I will simply print the list also. So if I execute this piece of code, then I am going to get list without 2. So here 2 is present in the list, so this if condition will be true and this piece of code will be executed. And have you observed that we are getting values present inside two square brackets along with this comma separated value. So what if I want my list as 1, 3 and 4? I want to see elements in this manner. So instead of printing direct list, what we can say is we can print star list. This asterisk list is going to print the list without comma and square brackets. So let us see how this will be printed. So just by adding this asterisk, we are going to remove this comma as well as the square brackets. Clear? So in this way we can deal with this error. And the second way to deal with this error is the most efficient way, that is using exception handling concept, which I will deal in my later videos. So but for now, in order to handle this error, just remember, write an if condition before doing these two methods. And now most of the people will make a mistake with the method which I am going to show right now, that is sort method. Like sorted, we have a method called sort, which is a list specific method which is going to sort the elements present in the list. So if I take my list as 2, 3, 1, 4, 6 and 5, what I can say is I can say list dot sort of. So if I print this list, we can see the original list is in sorted order, and most of the people commit a mistake, like I'll take the original list again and I'll say sorted list is equal to sorted of list. So if I print this as list, then I am going to get sorted list. But wait, what if I write sorted list is equal to list dot sort of? If I try to print this as list again, then I am going to get none. We can also check type of this as list. It is of none type. So what is happening here? This list specific method sort of is going to return none. It is going to sort this original list only. If you observe, I have performed sort of operation on this list and we got the sorted list directly. So if I take this list again and if I say sorted of list, and if I try to print the original list again, the original list is unchanged. But in the case of dot sort of method, the original list is going to be modified, and as a return value of that method, we are going to get none. So most of the people will commit this mistake by saying my sorted list is equal to list dot sort of. Instead of saying list dot sort of, you can directly say sorted list is equal to sorted of list. If you want to manipulate the original list directly, then you can say list dot sort of. So this point has to be remembered when you are going to use dot sort of. Clear? So let us discuss one more method, and that method is extend. So let us take a situation. I have two lists. LST1 is equal to 1, 2, 3. Now I have another list. LST2 is equals to 4, 5. Now I want to concatenate these two lists. So directly I can say LST1 plus LST2. In this way we can concatenate these two lists. And if you want to store it in third list, then we can say LST3 is equals to LST1 plus LST2. And if you print LST3, you're going to get this concatenated list. The same operation can also be performed by using a method called extend, which is going to alter one of the two lists which you want to concatenate. Like if I want to concatenate list 2 with list 1, and I want all 5 elements present inside the list 1, then I can say LST1 is equals to, LST1 dot extend of LST2. So if you print LST1, you are going to get LST1 along with LST2, and if you print LST2, it is going to remain same. The same thing you can do for LST2 also. You can say list2 dot extend of list1, then you will get 4, 5, 1, 2 and 3. So there are two methods, append and extend. What is the difference between append and extend? I will take my list1 as 1, 2, 3 and my list2 will be 4 and 5. So if I write LST1 dot append of LST2, and if we print LST1, then you can see nesting of the lists. Here as a fourth element we have both 4 and 5, and if we access this fourth element by saying LST of -1, then you will get I have to say LST1 of, yeah. So we are going to get both 4 and 5 as our output. And we can also say, like if I want to access 4, then I can say LST of -1 of 0. Okay, I have to say LST1. Somewhere I have declared list also. So LST1 of -1 of 0. What this is going to do? LST1 of -1 will return another list In that, the 0th index will have 4, and thus 4 will be given as output for me. So here, if you do append, then the list is going to append it into list 1 directly in the form of a list, which is desired in some cases and which is undesired in some cases. In some cases, we want to append a list directly into another list, then we can simply say list.append of another list. But in some cases, it is not possible to append a list directly. Instead, we want all the values present in one list into another list. So in that cases, we can say list1.extend of list2, list1.extend of list2 by saying that we can get list1 extended with list2. Okay, I have to print lst1. Yeah. So till now we have list1 like 1, 2, 3 and list of 4, 5. Now we have 4 and 5 as individual elements. So this is the difference between list.append and list.extend. So hope I have covered all the basic concepts related to lists. So in the next video I am going to cover why these lists are mutable and how we can perform slicing on this list. So that's all for this video. Thank you and see you in my next video.